this out of the way. And I'll flip this piece over so we can see just how good straight the cut really is. Now, I don't know how much of that we can pick up with the camera. I'm just going to take a few post-it notes and put them in between there. One sheet. And get a couple down towards this end. And this is just some 1/4 inch veneered MDF that we cut, so pull this together, and we're a little bit push that down. But as you can see, gives you a real straight cut line. Now the alternate method I was always taught as far as connecting the guide rails, we can do that and just see what kind of results we get, is to use the saw to align those. Well, it does help align them, but I've always found that it never gave me the kind of alignment that I wanted. Cut the other sides of these boards with that. So if we bring this up here, and of course this takes much more time than using the straight line connector. Let me loosen these up. And one other thing I found when I'm connecting the connectors, I never let the ends completely touch each other. They're not machined straight, and when they touch each other, it just seems maybe even a little bit harder to keep them aligned accurately. So this is kind of the method I was always taught, is to put my saw over the guide rails, and maybe even snug up my guides to keep it really straight. Move it back and forth and line the middle up. Make sure that feels straight. Then snug up the connectors. Now, when I do this, all I have is one connector holding it together, so I always try to flip it over carefully when I tighten the back side. And I'm going to take the unit gauge and just check and see how straight that's aligned. Can you see this from there? You got to move that camera around. I'll move it over where you can see. Okay, now if you can pick that up, I've got about 11 thousandths out on this one, over a foot. So what happens then, and I'll take a cut, as you can imagine, if I'm off 11 thousandths over 1 foot, by the time I cut an 8-foot piece, over 4 feet, I'm going to be off about 40 thousandths of an inch. But just to demonstrate it, let me bring this over. And I'll put the clamps back on, and I'll let that bottom sheet to move. Get this one on. And that 11 thousandths is actually pretty typical. I got to tell you, working on this connector, I've put guide rails together probably hundreds of times, and lots of times with the saw and with different methods. And we see that anywhere from once in a while you might get lucky and get it straight, other times up to 20 thousandths in a foot. But about that 10 thousandths in a foot seems to be fairly reasonable to expect when you're just using the saw. And now I've got to readjust my slides on my saw because I tightened those up to connect it. Make sure I don't have any play in there. And I'll make this cut and we'll see how these boards look. let's flip this over. Now remember, anything that was off will show us twice as much here when we do it. But I don't know if you can pick that up with the camera, but this certainly won't get the post-it past that post-it test. The gap there, there's a diamond that's loose in there. And remember, this is doubled because we've cut 2 sheets, but it's still, if you were putting sheeting on the side of a house, that might be alright, but if you're building cabinets or furniture, I think you want something straighter. So the straight line connector just gives you a real simple method, very quickly, very fast, and easy to align your connectors in a straight line.